special, but
you had to literally find
that place.
The place to exist, and then reverse engineer it into the set so that the ladder sequence made sense.
Shout out to the hot rod costume there, and Too Short, which has been a lifelong dream to get Too Short in a movie.
There you go.
That's a big deal for me.
Dan Flash's shirt in the bottom.
There's a Wednesday Addams lurking in there.
There's a Wednesday Addams.
I like that guy who was a walking ball pit.
Yeah, the walking ball pit's cool.
Yeah.
It was so fun to show up on set only knowing, I'd say, 50% of the costumes were going to be because we had a conversation with Avery about them.
Rockstar Avery.
And showing up and being just so surprised and thrilled with all of the fun Easter eggs. It was like being in a fun house.
Truly. We're going to talk about Avery a lot in this, but we should just say her touch on all the costumes throughout the movie are just really next level.
And the details that, Annika's dressed as a jack-o'-lantern, but the knife pinned to her hat, all of those little things that just make it feel real and like character.
OKB, I believe, is the same fraternity from Scream 2.
Mm-hmm.
I also
and the one referenced when she says she might rush
is the Rebecca Gayheart. Guy, I remember us talking really early about the idea of we wanted to have a house party at the top of the movie,
right?
Like instead of you kind of get that idea out of the way.
Michigan.
It's a fun way to start it too.
It is
to just feel like energy and excitement,
college,
and it's real life. Yeah, and it's sort of an idea of what it could be, what life could be.
Mm-hmm.
This is also the first stuff we shot, right? This is this is day one.
Day one,
day two is this whole scene.
This whole run, I think we talked about it, but it just sort of stops being a Scream movie for about 15 minutes, which I love.
Yeah,
it just becomes a story about these people in college.
It's one of my favorite runs of the movie. From here to when the Danny Sam scene.
Yeah.
But it's really nice because it just makes you fall in love with all of these people.
Yeah.
And then everything else that matters so much more after that.
Yeah. But again, it's one of those things where I remember being like, are we okay without a kill? Or you know what I mean? You just sort of get nervous of that kill can't. Oh my God!
That's where the cast comes in because they're all so damn fun
to
watch.
They're all so great,
incredibly charming,
so charming.
That was so we were in the edit, and this was a hard scene to edit because there's 4 different kind of stories happening, and same time, slightly different time, and that find of them dancing, that was.
Yes.
Pre-roll, basically.
Yeah, they were getting psyched up for the scene.
Yes.
And I was like, oh no, that's a great way in.
Yeah, and when Jamie came into the edit, I remember you were like, let's try that. And it changed the whole thing. Because otherwise we were just cutting into a conversation and you hadn't met Ethan yet.
Yeah.
And it does so much for their relationship. You just know that they're buddies right from the start.
And this Ethan's costume is, of course, from the movie Murder Party, directed by Jeremy Saulnier, written by Macon Blair, which is a favorite of ours.
Yes.
And it's such a wonderful costume, and it's like, of course Ethan would wear this.
And Mason's costume is Mason without a shirt.
Right.
It's a favorite costume
and a cowboy hat.
It's such a great costume.
But with the bandana, which I think is a really nice touch.
Mason was very grateful that we shot this on day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
He'd been, yes.
I remember I was up there right before you started, and we went to dinner, and he was like, I can eat nothing.
That's right.
Literally nothing in this restaurant.
Also, Anthony here, the date rape Frankie, he really came through. He's
great.
Yeah, he embodies this character in a great way.
I've said people online very upset that he is not murdered later in the movie.
Right.
At one point he did come back.
Wasn't he?
No, he wasn't murdered.
He got
later.
He got kicked in the balls again.
Tased
He was tased in the balls again twice.
And I believe Chad's line after the second tasing was, "Oh no, your balls again."
It was in the park. It was the park sequence. By the way, I think I'm in the background shouting, "Get him some ice!" there.
Yep.
This is one of our collective favorite scenes.
Oh yeah.
It just.
They're both so good and genuine.
Yeah.
And probably the scene that changed the least from assembly to final. Final cut.
We've now on the last 3 movies we go through our edit for 8 weeks or whatever, and then Jamie, you come in.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the scene that I remember us being like, don't touch it.
You were like,
touch it.
if he tries to change any of it, we're all going to stand strong. And I was like, seems great. You're like, oh, okay. Well, I remember the other thing too is we're gonna get to Jenna lying back on the bed and smiling, and I remember like I think that's like one of my favorite shots in the movie, and I think you didn't hear me, and you were like, "Wait, do you like that shot or not like that shot?"
Yeah, we're
and I
just
was like,
ready
no, it's one of my... You're like, "Oh, thank God."
That's the shot more than
Loaded.
anything in the movie that I was like, please don't let anyone ask us to cut this.
Yeah, that's great.
This little moment here where you see that that Ethan and Annika have switched costumes,
Yes.
switched hats, was something that they did on their own. They walked out as we were rehearsing the scene with that swap, and we loved it. It just implies again this closeness, this friendship in the group that you wouldn't otherwise feel.
You have to let me go.
They're both so good in this scene.
We haven't mentioned newcomer Jenna Ortega. I hope stuff really works out for her. She's so great in this. As is, by the way, as is this day player,
Yes.
who you think came in from Toronto, who I
Also a
wanted to
Jenna.
credit as sure bitch,
Sure
but
bitch.
I don't think SAG lets you do that.
And her friends, two of her friends are Melissa and Jenna's stand-ins.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think this line ever changed, by the way, too. The
Yeah,
three,
it
the
did.
three
Three
tissues.
It plays so well.
That look. That look.
That look, and then Jack's reaction of,
Oh.
I better go.
Yeah, she doesn't want me here right now.
I think she needs a moment.
Second We Hate Movies poster. By the way, first We Hate Movies poster was put in post digitally because second We Hate Movies poster is out of focus.
Yes, this is the-
and I was like, this cannot stand.
It's
said
scripted as
non-negotiable.
non-negotiable. Billie Eilish too. This song, when the party's over, also in the assembly, and
Yeah.
it was just we tried a bunch of other options, knowing that obviously it was going to be expensive, and kudos to the music department. They were able to
Yeah,
pull
it
it
worked
off.
out.
It's such a good song.
And it leads into the Brian Fallon song, which is the second song we tried in the upcoming scene here. This scene, the one that we're going into right now. And it's one of those moments where just you drop a song in and you go, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Don't adjust it.
Don't touch
it.
that. Yeah. That was already in by the time I came into the edit, I remember. And I was like, oh, that's perfect.
It just worked. So good. And then that was Liana's first day. Just a little fun fact.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I was there for that.
That's right. That's right. That was like the day before
Yeah.
I got COVID and you had to go home.
So yeah, the Chad and Tara relationship was an early decision, and it's kind of a swing. You're like, we hope this works, but it's like these two people are so charismatic,
Yeah.
they could have chemistry with a wall.
What's crazy is I think they only have one scene together in 5.
Yeah.
Just in the hospital.
Yep,
room.
that first
I think
hospital
literally
room
there.
scene.
And I don't think they talk to each other in the scene.
Nope.
No. Technically, they're in the final scene together. He's in a...
That's true. I also don't think they
They're
talk to
both
each
on
other in the
stretchers?
final scene.
When they're both on stretchers?
Stretchers with oxygen. But like, this is the cool thing about writing a sequel is these actors and you know what they're capable of, and so it was just sort of like we really loved the idea. We also love the idea of a romance in a Scream movie. I think that there's something really wonderful about that, and our version of that in 5 was Sam and Richie, which obviously doesn't work out that well. And so doing a real one with two of our returning characters was exciting to us.
Well, and I think this romance in particular that, they don't get the chance to kiss here.
Yeah.
They kiss once and it goes so poorly. And then the third kiss is also the moment that Tara finally gives into this idea of the core 4. Like
Yeah.
it arcs, like that kiss is everything. It's so important and so vital. This is one of those, that moment, the cock block moment was just one of those where there's a lot of like little improv moments where these are just like 3 friends joking around with each other, and they were so fun to cut.
We did write a lot of the cock block stuff. Just I want to make sure that we get credit for the script.
Yes.
Where cock block was said 4 or 5 times.
I did in fact.
Where is our Oscar?
I did in fact script that smile too. But
That's right.
holy cow, what a smile!
Yeah.
The just really quick, the hand, her scar on her hand.
I love it.
Yeah, I love
It's
that.
such a nice detail, and I remember we talked about it because these movies obviously live in a slightly heightened reality, extremely heightened reality.
Yeah.
Where wounds heal fast, and there was a moment we were like, well, maybe we let it go, and we decided to put it there, and it's such a nice texture, to just kind of like remind you of what she's been through.
Yeah.
Also the little inhaler puff too at the top of the scene.
Yeah.
It's a nice little callback.
No, I remember when Jenna first read the script, I think she was like, where's my asthma?
Yeah, she was like, it was such a big part of the last one.
Yeah, I just want to keep that alive. And, make sure it's not a thing.
And this was a Melissa.
I was going to
note.
say, all
Oh,
credit to Melissa. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Originally, they didn't really know each other, were flirty, and then kind of came together during the movie. And yeah, she came to you guys, right? Was
Yeah,
like-
she was like, I really want to, she had so many really helpful thoughts on this one.
Yeah.
That were really additive, and this was one of them. But there was something, like, this scene makes you just like Danny, but it also really makes you like Sam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also that she's not, and I think this was her thing too. It's like, I'm not living in a glass box. Like
Yes.
I would, hook up with other people. Like I wouldn't just,
Yeah.
be
She's
like,
still
I'm just going to
human.
be alone and, closed off now. So she's still human, which I love. And I love Josh because he feels like someone who would not show up in Woodsboro. He's such a New Yorker.
Yes.
Like he's such a, you're now in New York. And he's got he's so great at being kind and honest and open, and also so great at, you're like, that dude is totally the killer.
Totally.
Yeah.
He also has that. I mean, he has that same thing Samara has, where he just is so charming, that he's not in the movie a ton, but
Yeah.
you just know him. It feels so lived in his performance.
There was the Jason Carvey.
Yeah. That's the moment he was like, what?
And Greg
The laugh.
Bruckner. Shout out to Dave Bruckner.
When we were shooting the newscaster stuff, it was early on in the shoot, and he was standing on the street telling the entire plot of the first act of the movie. And I remember we were like, oh my God, there's no way this doesn't get out, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I love that moment where she
She's like,
gives
I'm
up on the
getting
two
a knife.
small paring
Yeah.
knives and
We're
grabs
also
the...
setting up the butcher block of knives for me.
Yes.
I do love the idea that the only weapon that she would have is a kitchen knife.
She's got a taser. I mean,
yeah, she is fair. One taser for the two of
not
them.
everybody can have guns. It's,
This was one of the
Only
more
the legacy
challenging scenes to block, if I remember.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
A lot of
the-
characters.
A lot of characters, one room, everyone needs to kind of, the eye lines, making sure that it felt like it had movement and was dynamic, but
I mean, also, one of the things that was so fun about shooting this is that we had the core four who would become friends on the last one, and then the new characters, and everybody just on set and off just hung out and seemed to really get to know each other, and I think you can feel it in these scenes.
William talked a lot about too that the experience on 5 on set was so familial, and everybody was sort of, especially because it was during COVID,
Yeah.
that everybody was together all the time. And I remember him talking to the agents a lot about, in bringing in new actors, they have to be that type of personality. Like
Oh, yeah.
we're not going to bring someone in who's a diva or an asshole or any kind of that's going to upset that balance that you guys
yeah.
created on set. And I think kudos to Rich D'Elia and William and everybody for making casting choices that totally are in line with that and add to that kind of presence and experience, because I think it comes through in the film.
Yeah, I think the thing that we look for more than anything when we're zooming with actors are they cool? Like, are they nice people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to hang out
Do you
with
want to
them?
spend time
They're
with them?
good. We already know they're good at their job.
Yeah,
Like, it's-
exactly.
I never deleted his
And this is about to take us into Set Piece City for the
Yeah.
next hour.
Yeah.
Well, hope you've enjoyed the
City.
talking.
Welcome to Set Piece City.
Population?
Jack was really
This movie.
Jack was really involved with us on all the Richie stuff. Jack Quaid.
yeah.
He sent us pictures for this. He sent us all the videos that come up later. He did a bunch of voiceover we'll talk about later, but and it was really cool. He was really a very willing participant.
What was it like when you called him and asked him or told him? Like, because you had to tell him why. Like, you had to tell
Yeah.
him the reason
He
you
was
needed it.
thrilled. He was like, when we just saw him last week at the premiere, and he was talking about how special it was just to be involved in this. And it goes back to that family thing that, has been really created over these movies.
And this was our last three days of shooting the bodega.
Yeah.
I remember, by the way,
Everyone had
William
we'd sort of wrapped the movie, and then we had this other
Go
little
back.
like,
Oh,
short
oh,
film
one
to
more
shoot.
sequence.
Yeah, at the end.
I remember William calling me and being on the last day and being like, it's amazing, we're gonna finish early. Like, are we forgetting anything? And I was like, hey, you know how there's always a moment at the very end of the movie where you see Ghostface? Do you guys have that, right? And there's this long pause. He goes, good note. And that's where you get Ghostface with the
we did
shotgun.
that.
No,
we
it
did
was
it last.
scheduled.
It was
but
scheduled.
The shotgun, but the shotgun was not.
Oh,
that was,
yeah. Get
you
the
were like,
shotgun.
get the shotgun.
You gotta
and
get the
it was-
shotgun.
yeah.
Ghostface with a shotgun, Guy and I got so excited about. Really, we were
did.
like, what if he has a shotgun? We didn't know where he was going to have a shotgun, I don't think. Like,
No, I think it was that we already had a shotgun in the scene, and I think one day, I give credit to you, I think you were the one that said, what if Ghostface takes it and uses it?
I feel like I had that in my back pocket. It was like, at some point, I'll be like, what if a shotgun enters the scene? 'Cause I
Playing your
love
cards
the image of
close.
it, but
Fun fact: that dude that gets stabbed in the neck, his name is Jean Frenette. He's a very famous stunt actor who was in the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, no way.
no,
Foot
where is he in
soldiers.
Ninja Turtles?
He's one of the foot soldiers. He was like a
Was he, like, next to
a
Sam Rockwell
like a
kind of
world-class taekwondo fighter.
This is him and Skeet both reuniting in this.
Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah.
And that cast goes deep.
Well, and this sequence establishes what he said on the phone, which is I'm something different. And what was so fun about this and the whole idea of New York is that you're supposed to be safe once you get inside the bodega. You have people around. And he just walks right in, and if you get in his way, he'll cut you down. Establishes kind of our Terminator ghost face idea.
Well, and that was one of the things that I remember reading the script. Our like big thought when we read the scene for the first time was like, this should be a Jurassic Park Terminator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slow.
Right.
The movie
Yeah,
slows
he's just
down,
mowing
tense.
through-
Yeah.
yeah.
And it kept kind of evolving. Even this moment that's about to come up was like an on the day ad that Melissa, another great
the
Melissa.
the
The
Coors
distraction.
Yeah.
Coors Edge.
Coors Edge.
Edge.
The non-alcoholic
famous
Coors
TM.
Edge.
But that's how last minute that choice was. That was literally just a can that was there, and we were
Yeah.
like, let's just go with this.
Yeah. I remember in the edit this changing a lot.
Quite a bit.
Like, and
Yeah,
not,
it
by
was
the way,
a-
like,
yeah.
it's always this idea, but it was sort of how do you dial this in properly? Because if it's too long, it becomes unbelievable because they are an aisle away from each other. But
Yeah,
if it's too
Ghostface
short,
doesn't feel scary anymore.
yes, exactly.
Right.
But if it's too short, you lose the tension.
It's
So-
also
Yeah.
the needle drop or the
the
radio.
sound coming out.
Yeah, the song on the radio really sets the mood for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a mega, just in terms of the special effects work too. The shelf that had to be built, the rigging the exploding refrigerator, all of that stuff. The chip bags blowing up. There was a lot of effects work that I think we got everything on one take. I don't think we did two takes of any of those squibs or anything.
And also in the evolution kind of the drafts as we got here, is this used to be much smaller and part of a larger action sequence. They actually were going
That's
out
right.
the back, getting into a cab,
yeah.
and then Ghostface kind of crashes the cab, and
I believe the cab flipped. Am
the
I
cab
wrong?
does
Cab
flip.
flip.
Yeah. Well, we like to give the biggest
Yeah,
version.
Ron
and then
Lynch
Ron
read
Lynch.
that. It was like, not a chance.
Ron Lynch. So I am convinced that Ron Lynch, who's our amazing line producer, hates cars and has a thing against people in cars because they're tough to shoot, and so managed to figure out a way to make a movie in New York City where you never see anyone driving in a car.
I will say on the last one, Ron was like, you guys don't need to shoot this car scene like this. And
No,
we were like, yes,
exactly.
we do. And then we finished it and we're like, didn't need to shoot the car
Yes,
scene like
exactly.
that.
Why did we do that?
But he was trying to get it out of the movie, and I was like, they can't teleport.
This was weirdly one of my biggest worries, this scene. It's, three characters in a small room, and it's all credit to the writing and the cast that it just turned out the way it did. It became one of my favorites in the movie.
Dermot, who has now entered the movie, he, we're all giant fans of his, and I think, Jamie, you've worked with him before.
Yeah.
And he came to set and was just, it's all everything you want in an actor, where he shows up and he's like, I am ready, I have ideas, and I'm going to give you a lot to work with in the best way.
Yeah.
And dialing in his performance was so much fun in the edit, because he's so aware of what his role is in this movie.
Yeah. Well, he's such a pro, but also it's, I also feel like it's really a credit to you guys. Like, an actor going that big is putting themselves in your hands, right?
Yes.
Which is like,
He's
I'm going to
very trusting.
I'm going to take a risk here, but I also have to trust you guys to not make me look stupid.
Yeah.
And I think, he's so much fun in the third act
Oh
of
my
this
God.
movie, and you also said was so happy with like where, because he gave you
Yeah,
a
he
lot of
was-
different levels and options and stuff like that.
There's a full Gonzo version that we couldn't
Right.
cut. Yeah, no, he was
This
thrilled
is
with
not
the way
the
it
full
turned out.
Gonzo version.
No,
is what
no,
you're saying.
this is not. But he gave it to us, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Kirby Reed's giant boots.
They're
That is so amazing.
They
like,
are massive.
Just Frankenstein boots.
The boots should have gotten their own credit, really.
Yeah.
Did you guys, was there ever any other sort of thought of how to bring her back, or was this one of those like, she'd love that she's law enforcement?
No, yeah, we had a couple of different versions where we're just like, we really want to include the character in this
Yeah.
movie. And we wanted to include her in 5, and it was just so overstuffed as it was.
Yeah.
There was no room, but here it's like we have the real estate, I think.
Yeah.
And when we landed on the FBI thing, it was like,
Makes
ta-da!
so much sense.
Yeah, we never wrote any other versions for her. We definitely had
No.
a couple conversations. Weirdly, we had conversations about who she could be before we came up with what 6 was. It was just like, well, what if she's doing this?
Yeah.
What if she, just
That
from a
makes sense,
character
yeah.
perspective, because we didn't want to. And landing on, I think, Guy, it was your line, the monsters line, which I love. It's the I don't want to be afraid of the monsters. I want the monsters to be afraid of me. It was like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. Like the fact that this. I don't like how she's got her gun, by the way, in the back of her belt. I'm like, it's not good firearms. But you know, the idea that what happened in Scream 4 would change her to the extent that she would go on this path in her life seemed really kind of interesting and cool and unexpected. There are a lot of short people in this scene.
Yeah, the New York skyline represented in this.
Which is always super easy to shoot, by the way, right? When everyone's a foot apart in
Yeah,
terms of height.
It really is. It really is a fun challenge. Yeah, you're always like a lens wider and a lens tighter when you're doing your coverage.
He's right.
Weird sort of meta thing. This location where we built the precinct was Redefined. The company that did our visual effects used to be their office.
Oh, wow.
And it was a police station
Before
it was their
No
office.
way.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that until we found that out like a month ago
Yeah.
about the police station.
This is low-key my favorite moment in the movie, guys. Missed punch and then...
I remember going, is this too much? But the Terra punch is that we're like, no, this is pretty cool.
This was an interesting moment when we were in the sound mix. We were something about this wasn't working, and we were temping with something that just ultimately didn't feel right musically, and so we went and we got the theme. The Gale Goes Around Back, I think is what it's called, right? From
It's
the
the
first
theme.
movie.
It's from the original.
From
Right,
the original.
yeah,
And
Marco.
that was the little thing. I think what we realized is that callback is what was so fun.
It grounds you
and
firmly
grounds
in
you
Scream.
in the Scream
Yeah.
universe in such a specific way.
I really, it's one of those things that like I love that you guys did in the script where, you leave the last movie with Gail almost feeling like she's finally changed.
Yes.
And then starting this movie with, no, she hasn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, Gale is going to be Gale. And I
Yeah.
think that I look, I don't think it was, I think it was a very nice book in terms of Dewey. Like, I don't think it was, but I think that there's something wonderful about, it's not that she hasn't changed, but, you are who you are. And the fact
Yeah.
that she's unapologetically herself and a career woman and powerful and a journalist, like, Gale's gonna Gale.
And
you
it gives
know?
her and
That's
Sam
great.
somewhere to go as
Yes.
characters.
And we also
which is so important.
Post Dewey's death, we didn't want to see her wallowing and being sad, and there's this fun aspect of Gale, being this ambitious and sort of driven person that's not going to go away. And I think she has evolved, and that comes out in later scenes where it's a warmer Gale that you saw in 5. But she's still Gale. She's still got those aspects
Yeah.
of her personality. So I feel like, merging those two things was sort of the challenge.
It's so nice in this one to see everybody, and especially Gale, actually deal with the events of the last one.
Yes.
Which I think is often kind of you skip over that stuff. And she has so many Dewey moments in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun little fact here: the knock that you hear that gets Dr. Stone to the door is actually Ty West's knock from X.
What?
Pearl?
Pearl.
It's from
Yeah,
Pearl.
Pearl.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Also, Dr. Christopher Stone, named after Chris Stone, our Spyglass executive, who I was just like, I know will secretly be thrilled about this.
So, tidbit here, back when Dr. Stone was a horror buff, and that was really set up in the first therapy scene, the movie he was watching here was Stab from 2020.